Hey Titans, we're going to start our vector collection or vector collector assignment, which is going to be done in Illustrator. So this is, we're fast forwarding to the end right now. As you can see, I have many variations of my logo. You're not going to be working with your logos on this assignment, but I just want, this is, whenever I make an example, I try and involve my logo. It's how I get into a project. So you can see I made many variations, which are each vectors. In fact, if I move them around, you'll be able to see that each of these were drawn with the pen tool, and I obviously grouped them together first individually, and then I grouped them into this shape. And you're probably thinking, well, why did I group them and turn them in such a weird way? Well, if I were to zoom out a little bit, you would see that if I were to take all these Squirrel Man logos and put them in different shapes and sizes around and tilt them into position, I can make them fit the overall shape of my S in my logo. Okay, so that's what I was attempting to do, and that's basically what the project is going to be. If I zoom out more, it'll just show you some of the vectors that I had to make to do this project. Whoops. So each of these individual logos, let me use my hand tool to move around a little bit here. Each of these individual logos were made by the pen tool, and I ungrouped one of them just so you could see that each individual shape was made. Now again, for this, I picked really complex objects that you're not going to have to work with, but I just wanted to show you where this came from. You're going to hopefully choose much more simple vectors. So this is my idea for what I'm going to use as my overall shape. So here, my overall shape is my S shape, like this one. Here, my overall shape is going to be one of these controllers. Now I have three of them here to show you that basically this is the most detailed. You'd normally want to avoid pictures like this. However, if we're just looking at the overall shape, that's something that we can use. This is a more graphic version of that, and therefore this is a better thing to use. But I really just want the shape. So this is the best, most simple thing to go with. So I'm going to make this large and put it on my screen, and I'm going to ultimately lock it there when I'm starting this project. I'm going to go to Object, Lock. This way I won't be able to interact with it with any of the tools that you'll be using on this assignment. I'm going to use this navigation tool, the hand, to move around my page just to tell you what's happening on the rest of the page. So now that I've identified my main shape here that all my little vectors or silhouettes are going to fill, my little silhouette drawings, I had to download a bunch of pictures that are going to be within my theme. My theme is obviously video games. Both my main object and all of my little silhouettes are going to be within that theme. So here I downloaded a bunch of pictures and I started drawing using the pen tool sealed silhouette shapes of each of those characters. And you can see I did the same thing with Mega Man X over here and the same thing with Link down here, which I just reflected, by the way, to make it go the other way. And now I'm going to continue with all of these things. I want to have a total of 30 different shapes. So this is a big project and it's going to force you to have to learn how to move fast with the pen tool. This video is not going to show you how to trace things with the pen tool because hopefully you already remember that, but if not, I have a review video already up that's separate. And additional to anyone who completely forgot how to use the pen tool. You might need the very beginning of the video just to get you started again on remembering how to make curves, but most of you will be okay. Those of you with a really keen eye and good memory might remember that this group of vectors or silhouettes that I drew here with the pen tool are actually from a former project called Design Triptych that you all worked on in 6th grade. If you want, you can keep your theme similar to your Design Triptych one and use those vectors here. Still, however, you must have 20 additional brand new vectors or silhouettes, just like this Mega Man X one here, drawn just for this assignment. So you want to create a range of some simple objects, some simple silhouettes, and some more complicated silhouettes. Okay, so that's why when I was choosing my characters, I picked a couple that were simple and a couple that were more complex. You want to have a good range of that. Those of you who have trouble with the pen tool probably want to have more things that are simple, like these things here, than things that are complicated, like these guys up here. Okay, so when you're choosing your pictures, all of these things should come in mind. You're just going to drag them each in here, and it doesn't matter if you draw them on your page. You just have to draw them somewhere in this vast space. I'm going to use my magnifying glass and the Alt button to zoom out and show you that you have pretty much infinite space around your paper. And as you go, you're just going to drag the pictures as you complete them. So like for now, I could put Mega Man in here. And I might even start looking at where he's going to fit. He's going to be super small because, you know, again, I'm filling this with 30 vectors. But I could start putting him in the right places. Okay, so I'm actually going to make him much smaller because he's going to fit there with other characters just in this space. Okay, so I think you have an idea of how to start this project. If you need help with the pen tool, you'll be able to continue the project with the next video that I put up. Thanks for watching, Titans. Feel free to subscribe and leave feedback.